The first undeniable proof that dating is being destroyed by modern women is the collapse of reciprocity and mutual investment. Healthy relationships are built on a balanced exchange of effort, resources, and emotional labor. Modern dating has become defined by a unilateral, high-demand, low-reciprocity structure that breaks this foundation. Modern women, particularly those in high-competition urban environments, have internalized the belief that their gender is a sufficient asset to command maximum investment from men, while offering minimum effort in return. This manifests as refusal to plan dates, refusal to initiate communication, and a total expectation that the man must consistently prove his value through spending, performance, and relentless pursuit. This behavior destroys the willingness of high-quality men to participate. Men are rationally choosing to withdraw the subsidy of their time, emotional energy, and resources when the return is consistently zero. They recognize the transaction is inherently unbalanced. The woman demands a high-value resource vehicle, the top 5% of men, but offers only low-value effort, a placeholder on her calendar. This is not a sustainable market dynamic. The result is a two-tiered dating disaster. The top 5% of men become overwhelmed with low-effort, high-demand women they refuse to commit to, leading to serial dating. The remaining 95% of average men, tired of being treated as disposable, are opting out entirely, leading to rising rates of singleness and male emotional disengagement. The entire system is broken by the refusal to acknowledge that investment requires mutual reciprocity. The second proof is the phenomenon of chronic dissatisfaction rooted in the paradox of infinite choice. Dating apps convinced women that their options are limitless, thereby inflating their self-assessed value and creating impossibly high standards for their partners. The modern woman views dating as a consumption experience, a quest to find the single flawless product that meets every item on a hyper-specific checklist. This mindset eliminates the necessary emotional mechanism of compromise and contentment. Every man is instantly measured against a digitally curated global ideal, and the moment a flaw is detected, he is discarded for the fantasy of the next swipe. This behavior destroys the possibility of long-term commitment. The pursuit of the top 1% man is mathematically unwinnable for most. This pursuit ensures that 99% of men will be viewed as inadequate placeholders, incapable of satisfying the resource concentration standard she demands. When she is inevitably failed by the limitless options she created, she does not blame the system of infinite choice. She blames the men themselves for being immature or not serious. The result is that women are spending their peak fertility and attraction years engaged in an endless, cyclical pursuit of the unreal, only to find themselves alone when the market shifts. This chronic dissatisfaction, caused by the refusal to accept any man who is less than flawless, is actively destroying the environment for stable, committed partnership. The continuous rejection of good enough for the impossible perfect is the ultimate system collapse. If you're tired of confusion and want to understand the economic and psychological forces that govern modern gender dynamics and destroy mutual happiness, then take a second right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join the Psyche Lens community for more intense, unfiltered truths about accountability and market dysfunction. The third proof is the weaponization of accountability and the destruction of emotional trust. Modern dating is toxic because men are forced to operate under a continuous, high-risk threat of reputational or professional damage simply for participating. The cultural narrative grants women a low-cost weapon of emotional volatility. They expect men to absorb conflict, manage their emotional outbursts, and instantly apologize to maintain peace. When a man refuses this deference or attempts to hold the woman accountable for her own poor behavior, he is met with escalation, often involving social media shaming or accusations. This asymmetric threat, where a man faces high, tangible costs for simply defending himself, kills the willingness to invest deeply. This forces men to choose safety over intimacy. They recognize that genuine emotional vulnerability carries excessive risk. They choose self-protection and emotional withdrawal, refusing to invest deeply enough to be betrayed or financially exposed. The man is essentially being told, "Your honesty and desire for parity will be punished." This environment destroys the psychological safety required for a committed relationship to thrive. Furthermore, this dynamic completely destroys the male frame. A man who is terrified of his partner's emotional reaction or social retaliation cannot lead, cannot set boundaries, and cannot command respect. He is constantly walking on eggshells, signaling his self-worth is negotiable. This weakness, born from fear of the consequences, is the ultimate killer of female respect, leading her to believe he is inadequate and reinforcing her desire to continue the perpetual search. The final proof of destruction is the inevitability of market polarization, where men and women are increasingly finding commitment with their respective genders to be a poor investment. The choices made by modern women have pushed men into two extreme camps: the single-purpose men, the withdrawers. These are men who have achieved high competence and success but have rationally opted out of the domestic market. They maximize their freedom, focus solely on their purpose, and refuse the financial and emotional liabilities of commitment. They understand that their resource concentration attracts low-effort women, and they refuse the transaction. The alternative market men. These men are seeking partners in places where the old contract of reciprocity and appreciation still holds value. They are looking outside the domestic market to women who still prioritize cooperation and fidelity, rather than the high-demand, low-reciprocity environment created locally. This is a rational resource flow towards environments where their investment is valued. The result is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Women's high-demand behavior has driven the highest quality men out of the marriage market, leaving women to compete over a diminishing pool of viable partners. The irony is that the pursuit of maximum personal benefit has led to the maximum destruction of the very structure, committed marriage, they often seek in their later years. The proof is the data. Declining marriage rates, rising male singleness, and widespread female dissatisfaction, a market system that has become violently dysfunctional due to the unilateral, unsustainable demands placed upon it.